Those guys again. I wish they'd go back to whatever basement they crawled out of.
And I would have taken that as a threat. Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ellen. I'm an artist. I'm Goth. Today we're going to talk about a TikTok trend. There's actually two TikTok trends, but I feel like same vibe, same energy. So if you're new here, like, comment, subscribe, welcome. And if you are like, if you've been watching my videos for a while and you're not subscribed, what are you doing? Subscribe. You know you want to see more of me. So subscribe, like, comment if you feel like it's something you want to add to this video, or you feel like there is a perspective that I missed out on. So yeah, so we're gonna talk about this trend right here. Like this trend right here, this trend is not okay. So I've been seeing this trend happen for like the past year or so. It happened for a minute and then it came back again. So at first the trend was dressing emo to go out to dinner as a prank, or this is your sign to dress emo with your friends and go out to dinner. And at first I saw it and I just it just didn't register to me that was it didn't register to me that this was like a form of bullying. I thought I was trying to give them the benefit of the doubt. I thought, maybe they weren't allowed to dress emo as a teenager and they feel like they missed out on that phase of their life, and they feel like they missed out on that phase of their life, and now that they're an adult, they want to kind of test the waters and see if it's something they want to get into to try and be comfortable. Or maybe these are former emo kids who grew up and society kind of bullied it out of them and they want to kind of return to that. I was just trying to give them the benefit of the doubt, that was the thing. But as I seen video after video after video, it became very clear that this was not an innocent thing, that this was an actual form of bullying. So at first it started off with, we're gonna dress emo and go out to dinner. Haha, we're gonna see how people react. It's so funny. Oh my gosh, it's so embarrassing. It had that type of vibe to it. And then the trend has come back and it's dressing goth to do things. It's me dressing goth to go out on a date and see how my boyfriend or husband reacts. Me dressing goth and getting in the car and see how my mom reacts. Me dressing goth and going out to dinner with my friends to see how my friends react and see how I'm treated. Oh my gosh, it's gonna be such a fun experience. I literally saw a video where the guy is riding in my Uber but acting goth. LMAO. What the fuck is acting goth? It's not a verb. It's not something that you do. It became very clear that these guys were, I don't know, adopting the goth aesthetic, adopting the emo look as a way to make fun of people who are actually alternative. And you could say, it's just a silly trend, they're just trying to get their content out or whatever. But no, these are grown ass people making fun of kids, making fun of teenagers. And school just started again. And alternative kids exist. Emo kids exist. Goth kids exist. Alternative people as a whole exist. And most of their audience is teenagers, is children, is preteens that watch their content and look up to these influencers, and they're gonna think that this type of behavior is okay. So we're gonna watch a couple of videos and I'm gonna give you some real reaction. I'm going to play the video for you guys here, and we're gonna watch it together. Acting goth to see my husband's reaction. Bitch, what the fuck is acting goth? Again, it's not a verb, it's not an action, it's not something that you do. What the fuck is this? And then what's really blowing me is that these people are putting in effort to look goth, but then they're intentionally doing it bad. The makeup is bad, the hair is bad, the clothing is bad. It is the most messiest, unblended, cakey, greasy, messed up looking shit that I've ever seen. What? What is this?
Lex, I was calling to see if you want the yeso bar. Why you not answering? Lex, what is wrong? Lex!
I want to eat my mom. I want to eat my dad. I want to eat my husband.
Lex, what are you doing? Join the kiss man?
Touch me so.
Oh my God, what are you, a wrestler now?
His response is to laugh at her. And when she tries to kiss him, he's like, nah. Like, you can't kiss me looking like that. Ew, what the fuck? Goth people exist, and believe it or not, they're in relationships. They're married. And they display affection with each other all the time, and it's a completely normal thing. Why is it a joke to think that if you exist as a goth person and you are married, that your husband isn't gonna want to kiss you? Like, why is that an action that we are putting? Why is that energy that we're putting out into the universe? Why is that the messaging? Why is that the programming? And it just doesn't make any sense. And it's also like, not everybody starts their alternative journey when they're preteens and teenagers. Yeah, so not everybody starts their alternative journey when they are in their teens or 20s or when they're in college. A lot of people aren't brave enough to dive into being alternative until later on in life, until after they're more settled, after they're more established, after they have a good career and everything. Or a lot of times what happens is a lot of people will be alternative in their teenagers and teens, but then the world bullies them out of it, and then they get older and they're like, no, fuck that, I'm going back to myself because I don't care about people trying to bully me out of being myself. So this also is toxic messaging to other adults who are alternative, and basically saying that if you're married and you appear like a normal person, that you shouldn't flip the script and all of a sudden start dressing more alternatively because you're going to deal with alienation of affection from your partner as a punishment. And you should feel embarrassed. You should feel ridiculous about that. Like, that is the programming that I'm getting from the vibe of this video.
I want to join.
So I just noticed that she has a belt wrapped around her neck, which I guess is supposed to mimic the look of a choker. But it just looks like she's in some type of domestic violence abuse situation, which a lot of people can't tell the difference between abuse and kink and fetish. Like, there are people who see things like chokers and other forms of fashion that are associated with kink and think that you're glamorizing abuse and trying to make that into an aesthetic. And then he just asked her, oh, what are you, a wrestler? So now the look is associated with some type of performance art and not at all like how someone would like to dress on a regular basis or to a club or to a party or anything. Like, God forbid people have personalities and have interest in things. It's all just one big joke, right? These are grown ass people. So these aren't even, like teenagers or young adults. These aren't 20-something influencers. If I had to guess, the couple in this video is in their 30s, probably 40s. And they probably have alternative people in their circle. They probably have alternative people in their family. They probably have alternative people they probably aren't friends with alternative people if they're making this type of content, but they may have some mutual friends with other alternative people. They may work with alternative people at whatever jobs they have outside of doing TikTok videos, assuming that they are employed, you know. So, like, these jokes, this attitude doesn't exist in a vacuum. You're sending a message out to people who actually exist like this. And then you're also sending a message that it's okay to have this type of attitude because it's all just one big joke.
I want to eat my husband.
Do you want a piece?
I want to eat my husband.
Give me my bar back. You're gonna squish my bar. You want a bite? Can we go now?
I want to eat my husband.
And now she's saying, I want to eat my husband. So now she's associating being goth with cannibalism, which, you guys remember the satanic panic in the 80s? How people were associating cults who were doing terrible things to people with being alternative, and how that circled back in the early 2000s with the emo panic. Like, remember there used to be PSAs on the news warning parents about the dangers of emo kids and painting them as, oh, they follow Marilyn Manson and they follow Ozzy Osbourne and, you know, they want to do this and they want to do that. Like, you need to intervene if your child is displaying interest in this subculture. Like, that's what this, you know, reminds me of. And that's why I don't find it funny. Then she's like cocking her fist back to punch at him. Domestic violence isn't funny. Again, so her interpretation of a goth person, quote unquote acting goth, is domestic violence, cannibalism, and just trying to be scary and acting off-putting. When that is not at all what the goth subculture is or what it's about in any way, shape, or form. You know, just because you don't like somebody's personal style doesn't mean that that person is dressing to intentionally offend you and to intentionally be off-putting to you specifically. It's just this level of entitlement in the projection of you being a people pleaser and you dressing a way that you think is socially acceptable to other people. So if you see somebody that is dressing in a way that is not socially acceptable, you think they're doing it to intentionally be off-putting. And that is the problem. And that affects how alternative people are actually treated in the real world. Okay, so we're gonna watch another video and we're gonna kind of talk about it. This one says, point of view, acting goth in my Uber.
Fetch me their souls. I want to kill my...
This person's interpretation of acting goth is threatening people with violence and associating goth with being like a school shooter. Like, they just said, fetch me their souls and I want to kill my mom. Which that is like a line associated with school shooters, which is a real problem. And the reason why it is a problem is because it's like, so being goth is associated with Marilyn Manson, And for some reason, Marilyn Manson got blamed for Columbine, which is a real school shooting. And a lot of the school shooters and things, they have mommy issues, and they really do harbor those thoughts. And I've heard so many stories of school shootings where the day started off with them unaliving their mom, you know, just throwing the whole family away, and then going to school and emptying the clip. So their interpretation of acting goth is threatening people with violence and trying to make people uncomfortable, which that's not true. Like, most goth and other alternative people are literally the nicest, sweetest, most gentle, most kind people I have ever met in my life. So I'm really confused as to where these stereotypes are even coming from in the first place. Like, it's funny, ha ha, funny weird, but not funny in the way of, oh my gosh, this is hilarious.
Funny. Yes, but not funny. Haha. Funny weird.
It's funny weird. Like, I have no other response but laughter. But it's not actually humorous. I'm laughing because I'm uncomfortable, because I don't even understand where you got this from.
How was Hey, Mom.
What the? Fetch a Bible.
Kill my dad.
You okay?
Now the Uber is looking like so concerned. She's like the Uber driver's like, are you okay? Like,
I'm in danger.
are you on drugs? Like, you're just acting weird. Like, if I was this Uber driver,
Piss me off for real. Why do you act like that?
Like what?
The way that you act, you don't see how you act, why people don't want to be around you?
No.
Look how you act.
I would have pulled the fuck over and kicked you out of my car, because, like, what are we doing? Oh my gosh. Like, my eyes are watery. That's my mess. I have to go to work soon, so I'm not gonna harp on this too long, but you see what the fuck I'm talking about. Like her idea of acting goth is threatening violence in a closed space in a stranger's car. And what they're saying is off-putting, regardless of the makeup and hair. Like, this person seems like they're having a violent mental health episode. Not, oh my gosh, there's a goth in my car and they're acting weird. Like, I'm just not understanding where you guys get this from. Okay, so this next video is POV, you and your friends go to brunch dress emo, and they have that ugly ass cringy emo parody song playing in the background, which is copyrighted, so I'm gonna have to mute the audio of this video. But basically, they're all wearing these ugly ass fucking wigs that they got from the dollar store. These fucking chokers that they probably bought from Spirit Halloween. And just like, what is this? And then I blocked one of the content creators here because him and his partner does a lot of content with their baby. And I just find it weird. Like, it's nothing inappropriate, but I just feel like you're already an influencer. You and your partner are both already influencers. You already have this large following. And now you're using your baby for clouds. And the baby is like a meme at this point. He got beef with this baby. He's always posting content like, oh my gosh, my baby hates me. I'm like, this is weird. So I already blocked this content creator, but the only reason why this came from my feed is because other people are tagged in the video. There was that. So emo people exist and they do normal things like go out to restaurants and eat meals, and they have friends, they have family, they have coworkers. They can surround themselves with other like-minded groups of people, and they deserve to be able to just live their life without people assuming that their existence is a social experiment. So this just shows that you think that alternative people are a social experiment and that their personality revolves around trying to get a rise out of you. That's what that tells me. Again, these are influencers that, you know, the younger kids look up to, and they're gonna think that this is an appropriate way to treat the emo kids at their school. School just started, and this is trending again. So this tells the bullies that it's okay to bully the emo kids. We don't have to pretend to like them. We don't have to pretend to be woke. We don't have to pretend to be inclusive or whatever the hell. We can just do shit like this, and it's funny. And it's also telling the emo kids that it's open season on them, and they gotta look over their shoulder and worry about people associating them with harmful stereotypes. So this is another video where a wife is pranking her husband by being emo. Emo people are not just preteens and teenagers. They're adults. Most emo people are like in their 30s. That's why we got emo night and all these little clubs popping up. And they're married. They have husbands, they have wives, they have children, they have careers. It's not just this annoying little cringy thing that you guys look down on. And it's not a prank. And then I made this point earlier, is like, you know, some people aren't comfortable enough to dress alternative because they're so scared of what people think about them. But if you're married, your partner should be supportive of you and your interests. Like, of course, if you have a dramatic appearance change, they might be, you know, curious to know what's the occasion and what's going on. But it should never be something that causes you to be mistreated or put down or embarrassed in any way. So we're gonna see how this person's husband reacts.
I'm gonna get roasted. I look insane. I know I do.
You ready, man?
Yes.
Let's get it. You fucking...
Starts laughing, and then he calls her fucking crazy. So this just in. If you're emo and you're an adult and you have a husband, then you're fucking crazy, and that's hilarious, and you should be ashamed of yourself because that's ridiculous.
Crazy. Oh my god.
Love is just a construct, honey.
No, Mom, it's not a phase.
Dude, it's not a
This is who
phase.
I am.
Bro, it ain't a phase. I'm trying to match my insides to my outside, and I think I've done a pretty good job. I think I've done
You're not even my real dad.
Bro, that's crazy. That reference is nuts.
Oh, dude. I got something for you.
What?
Hang on.
No, don't start with... Dude, we got places to be. We got people to see. Come on, homie.
So now he starts insulting her and telling her that she looks like she's been dead for 3 days. She's like, oh my gosh, can we not do this? We got places to go, people to see. He's like, you can wait. You like you've been dead for 3 days. So he's insulting her. So my thing is, what if this wasn't a prank? What if this wasn't a joke? What if his wife had a genuine interest in looking like this, and this is how he treats her, and we're all just supposed to find it funny? There's a lot of content throughout the years, there's a lot of programming with TV shows and movies where it's been completely normalized for men to hate their wives. It's completely acceptable for men to make fun of their wives, the mother of their children, the only family member they have ever chosen in their life. And this is how he responds. And we're supposed to find this funny. We're supposed to find this humorous. But I find it concerning. Like what if she had a genuine interest in looking like this, but she's testing the waters and hoping that her husband would support her in this journey and defend her when people act a certain type of way. And now she has to make this video and say it's a prank. So then he pulls up in a popular pop punk emo song from the early 2000s and like forces her to listen to it and starts laughing. So his response to his wife being emo is ridicule and laughter and doing everything in his power to make her feel the absolute most ridiculous and embarrassed. That is how he feels about his wife. And I don't know if this has been scripted or if this is a genuine reaction, because there's no way he didn't see that phone propped up there, because nobody puts their phone on that part of their car unless they're recording. So there's no way that he didn't see that camera there. Like, he could just be acting for the camera, you know, just to get content, just to, you know, put something out there that, you know, is going to go viral. This could just be scripted. But these are real reactions that people have to deal with that causes real harm to people. And I don't think it's funny. I don't think it's okay. Like,
seriously, you look like you've been dead for like 3 days.
Bro.
You can wait a second.
I look like I've been passed.
There's many other videos like that. So yesterday I posted this clip and I'm just, oh my gosh, guys, wouldn't it be so crazy if I went out to a restaurant dressed like a goth? Oh my gosh, it would be so cringe. Can you imagine the reactions? What if I went out with my family? Guys, how do you think my family will react to me being goth? Wouldn't it be so funny? Oh my gosh, guys. I'm gonna do this prank on my friends where I go out and I'm gonna be dressed like a goth. How do you think my friends are gonna react? It's gonna be so funny. Oh my gosh. Guys, can you imagine if I look like this on a regular basis and I actually left my house like this? Oh, that would be awful. Guys, I'm gonna try dressing goth to go to work and see if I get fired. My boss is totally gonna freak out. Oh my gosh. I mean, like, what if I went on a date and then when it was time for me to go on a date, I dressed like this to go on a date? Oh my gosh, how would my boyfriend react? Oh, I'm so excited to see how he's gonna react. Alright, so some of you guys saw that clip that I posted yesterday and you're probably don't understand the reference. You probably don't understand why I decided to make that video if you're not on TikTok and you're not familiar with this trend. But that video was basically to make fun of the people in this trend that are making a mockery of alternative people, because like it's just like, oh my gosh, but like, well, what if I got in the car with my husband and like I did it with just goth, I did it with just emo? How would he react? I have gotten in the car dressed the way that I look with my partner. Okay. I'm in the Uber ride but I'm gonna be acting goth. Like, first of all, that's not a fucking thing. Like, stop associating being goth with being violent and threatening and wanting to do harm to people. That's not what the fuck that is. I have gotten my goth ass in the backseat of a damn Uber. And you know what I did? I sat there and enjoyed the Uber. Like, first of all, I don't even think to, like, pull my phone out and record when I'm in an Uber or take a selfie and, like, try and get people's reaction or anything. I am watching the map on the Uber phone, and I'm watching that map on my phone, and I'm looking out the window, and I'm paying attention to all the street signs and making sure that I don't get kidnapped. So I'm not even thinking ahead of time, like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna dress this way and I'm gonna harass my Uber driver. Like, I would have kicked you out of my fucking car so fast. You look like you're having a mental health episode. And I would have taken that as a threat. You talking about killing people. Like, what is funny about that? And then the people that you see on the news that are actually doing this type of harm to people, they're not the goth people. They're regular people that look like, you know, your average person. So I'm not even getting where you guys are getting these stereotypes from when statistically it's not even true. I'm gonna dress emo and go with my friends to a restaurant. I have alternative friends. And guess what? We go to restaurants, we go to museums, we go to the zoo, we go out in public and we exist. And our existence is not a performance art to try and get a rise out of you. We're literally just existing just like any other person. But you guys interpret alternative people as being social experiments designed to upset you, and then you project that out into the world. These videos say more about you guys than it does about us. Oh my gosh, well, how's my husband gonna react to me being emo? How's my husband gonna react to me being goth? Like, goth, emo, alternative people exist, and they're married, they're in relationships, they're in polyamorous relationships, they have kids, they have careers. Like, I'm really just not understanding. People actually exist. Some people may have never dressed alternative a day in their life and may wake up and decide that's what they want to do because they've never had the confidence to do it because they're so scared about people's reaction, and to the point where it's causing crippling anxiety. Like, there are people who feel like they're suffocating in their skin because they don't feel confident enough to go out into the world wearing black lipstick, wearing black eyeliner, or cutting their hair a certain type of way, or dyeing it. And you guys think that this is funny. It's not. It leads to real life humor. I was just talking about Sophie Lancaster in my last video, which is a goth teen in the UK who was literally beaten to death by a gang of people because they didn't like that she was goth. They felt personally offended. They felt like her existence was a threat to them when they could have just left her alone. And with the rise of fascism and everything going on and everything turning beige and everything turning gray and a blatant attack on creativity happening in our society now, I don't doubt that that's going to be a trend that we see in the future. Again, I know that is a first world problem and that people are oppressed in ways that they cannot control, such as race, disability, sexuality, and all these other marginalized identities. But also to add on, you know, goth, emo, alternative people of color exist in many different intersections. And those people can also be gay. Those people can also be disabled. Those people can also be chronically ill or have other things that are different about them that they can't change, in addition to their interest in being alternative. And this is going to cause even more harm to them. My concern is for the children that see this and think that it's okay, and that is a behavior that is okay to have, and that is a thought process that is okay to carry on, and there is no work done to step in and say, this isn't okay, this isn't accurate, this isn't fun, this is an irresponsible form of content. And then my concern is also for the alternative people that these content creators have in their life, who, you know, I'm a stranger, I don't know you, my feelings aren't hurt by this, but what about your children? What about your niece? What about your nephew? What about your cousin, your auntie, your uncle, and other people in your life that may be alternative and see you posting this type of content and they're like, wow, so now I see how you really feel about me. What about the adults who were not allowed to dress emo, who weren't allowed to dress goth, or they just didn't have the confidence to do so when they were younger, and they're finally at a point where they can afford these things and they feel comfortable putting themselves out there, and you are supposed to be their husband, you are supposed to be their auntie, their uncle, their cousin, their mom, their dad, and this is how you react, and this is how you think is an appropriate response to have. And that's going to make those people feel uncomfortable to exist in their own skin. And that's going to make those people not feel comfortable and not feel safe around you. So that means that for the alternative people in your life, whether they've been that way their whole life or they're just now coming into it, they know not to, they know that they can't exist comfortably around you because you harbor these thoughts and these beliefs and you're going to behave this way. And you're not going to feel safe in your presence. And this behavior is going to radicalize other people to act in a similar manner, furthering making things unsafe for people. And, you know, we were just now starting to get to a point in society where alternative people were starting to get more respected and more accepted in our society and be more represented on social media, let alone, you know, TV shows and movies and such. We still don't have positive representations of that, aside from very few, minuscule, very niche, very specific characters like Abby from NCIS or something. So that's what you guys are putting out into the world. And I think that is a very irresponsible form of content creation. And I just want you all to do better. Not just the content creators in this video, but other people who post similar content, and all the people who like these videos, who commented laughing emojis, and who shared it. You know, some of these videos I just shared with you, they have 1 million views. So 1 million people looked at that video and thought that it was funny, and thought that it was an okay form of behavior, and they were not at all concerned for who can be harmed for who can be harmed by these type of dangerous attitudes and rhetorics. So I hope that you guys do better and, you know, enjoy the rest of your day. And I will see you guys next time in the next video. Feel free to leave any comments below if you relate to any of these experiences or you feel like there's a point that I missed out on mentioning. And I will see you guys later. Bye.